That's amazing. Wow. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, let's get some things out of the way first. I'm sick. I've been traveling around Scotland, which I mentioned on my previous video, by sailboat. I'm still on my boat. We've kind of covered the outer and inner Hebrides now, which has been absolutely amazing. But unfortunately, when we visited Castle Dunvegan, I think I picked up a bug, and I've had the flu since, or COVID. I'm not sure. I don't have a test, and I don't really want to go anywhere public to get one. Or also, like, the Outer Hebrides are so remote, they don't have COVID tests there. There's no pharmacies where we've been anyway. I got something, but it was all taking a long time, and I had to record new videos, including this one. But you can still hear that I'm pretty sick, and I just put on a little bit more makeup than I usually do, so at least I kind of look good. So here we are. Anyway, very excited to finally check out Self-Portrait, because I actually haven't watched it yet, because I wanted to wait until I would record my reaction. So today I'm finally watching Vincent Stiles' Self-Portrait for the first time. In case you're new here on the channel, my name is Manon the Reeper. I'm a filmmaker. I mostly do horror, sci-fi, and also some documentary work. Oh, we have a little fly that's buzzing around here too, so that's fun. I've done a short film, which you can find on my channel if you want to check that out. It's a really great one, if I say so myself. I'm working on my first feature film, which has been in the works for a couple years. It's really a marathon. And in the meantime, I'm writing. I post short stories on my Patreon. I put BTS of my own work on my Patreon, as well as early access for anyone who would like to watch these videos before they come out. So if that's something you're interested in, go check out my Patreon. And if not, but you do appreciate me putting out these videos, you can also buy me a coffee, and you can find the link here. If you leave a comment, I might read it on one of the next videos. So without any further ado, let's get into Self-Portrait.
Come on, let's have it, you miserable prick. I will do what I want, I will drink till I'm sick to my stomach. I'm sick of the same boring songs. I am sick of these pavements I find myself on. Great Britain, I hate you. I'll say that with pride. It's my right to be violent when you fed me lies. I'm a rotter, a menace when I want to be, and I'll work for that right, because nothing comes free. I have slaved all my life in a dull 9 to 5. I just rinse and repeat while I'm barely alive. Great Britain, I loathe you with murderous glee. I will.
Wow, what an opening. I'm a little taken aback, because Sunflowers was so different, and here we're a little back to some of his older style, if you will. It reminds me a lot of the tale of Jenny and Screech. And I love this. I love this so far. Let's take a look at the opening. We already covered this a little bit when I did the breakdown for Sunflowers. So just real quick, there were a little couple details that I noticed this time that I didn't notice then. So this shot, as I established before, I think it's a really, really beautifully composed shot with him in the center here. And there's this little thing here that for me sort of solidifies that he's been here a while, which is all of the drips on his shirt. And I noticed that and I was like, oh, that is such a great way to show us that, you know, other than him kind of stumbling out, it's not his first shot. You know what I mean? Really, really nice. And may or may not have been, you know, on purpose. It just works really well. So yes, he walks out and then we have a very bloody title card here. So I don't know if that's going to be any ear-cutting foreshadowing, but we'll see. And then next we open on this wonderful little set here. We're outside the Druid's Head, very beautifully lit here, this little patio. And I do think, I wonder if they have moved into using some more artificial lighting, as in it's not all just natural light from this lantern and the fairy lights. And if we do have a bigger light that's set up here to the right off screen, because there's a lot of shadows here, especially here on this chair behind the chairs here. You can see that the light's quite harsh. Looks like there's a little bit more light. I love that we start on a what they call Dutch angle, which is the tilted angle. So the horizon isn't straight, but it's off angle. And it's often used to show, you know, when someone's going a little crazy or when someone's drunk, like here. So it works well. And on top of that, of course, it's called the Dutch angle. And Van Gogh is Dutch. And let's also clear something up, because so many of you commented on my last video saying, oh, congratulations on pronouncing Van Gogh correctly. Just so we're clear, I am actually Dutch, and Van Gogh is how it's pronounced as a Dutch person. That is Vincent van Gogh's name. So while I appreciate the compliment, it's also my mother tongue. So yes, thank you. So yes, the Dutch angle. So it does make sense and feels a little bit tongue-in-cheek to me. Follow Ren around, and then we have this wonderful shot here, which feels so Oliver Twist somehow. Him sort of like walking around in this little street. It looks really wonderful. I love the reflections of the fairy lights here in the windows. And then we find Vincent here, who's sitting here on the street playing his guitar, and Ren takes it. And in the comments again on Sunflowers, there was this discussion going on about whether or not the whole Sunflowers, you know, Vincent's tale, self-portrait is about Ren sort of seeing himself in Vincent van Gogh. And the story, I mean, I hope it'll end less bloody. But there was this beautiful moment in Sunflowers where we transitioned from Vincent's room into Ren's world through the TV. And it felt like such a beautiful mirroring moment that, you know, maybe it is a mirror, right? And I thought that was such a lovely observation from some of the viewers there. So I again feel like here, you know, he starts playing the music, or we see him playing, and then Ren takes the guitar and continues playing, and that too feels like a continuation of that. Really beautiful, very, very well done. And I love that we got to see a little bit more of the outdoor setup here. So it's just a really wonderful street here. Ren basically starts singing about how he hates the UK, how he loves the UK. I'm very curious to see where this is gonna go. So far, I'm just really enjoying the atmosphere that they're building here. Really, really, really lovely.
I just rinse and repeat while I'm barely alive. Great Britain, I loathe you with want to tear apart these buildings from the cinder blocks they stand. Leave this town in dust and rubble, make some trouble with my hands. I won't lie, I'm fucking wasted, but I wasted all my youth, and I've stayed so damn complacent. Getting wasted is my truth, so my style of self-expression is a fist into the gut. It's throwing up upon these pavements. Shut your fucking mouth, you slut. Banished angel, I am Lucifer. My reign like Genghis Khan, soon you will all know my name. I am the storm after the calm. I'm the victim of the victim list, the pill that makes you sick. I am chaos incarnate. Let's fucking have it then, you prick! Now the rules of the street fight are simple. It's pretty much anything goes. Keeping the street pretty firm on your feet. It pays to be sweet on your toes.
Okay, so first of all, that I love these transitions that they're doing because I think they're being a little sneaky. They're becoming more and more technical about these one-shot, tracking shots that they're doing, because that was not that. The light was not there when he turned around. You know what I mean? Unless they rigged it somewhere secret, there must be some little cuts going on here and there. So that's exciting. That's really fun. Fabulous. So this is definitely very reminiscent of some of the stuff that we've seen before. And again, as I said in the previous video too, it feels so much like a little Ren universe, a Renverse, if you will. The Ren cinematic universe, whatever. He's so good at building the tension because obviously we know that something's off, which also the lens angle or the camera angle is also really contributing to with like these Dutch angles, right? And the camera's moving sort of like it's drunk, like we're with Ren all the way throughout and, doing the tracking shot. I wonder if they actually hung the fairy lights for the video. I wouldn't be surprised, because it really does add a lot of atmosphere. And if they were there, that's really cool that, you're using the environment. But I doubt this was actually filmed around Christmas time. So they must have hung those. Also, let me just say I love the color grading. It is fairly cool toned and I personally am a fan of that. So the shadows, the blacks are a little bit bluish and it's all looking very rich. It's quite saturated. The colors look very rich, and as the highlights look beautiful, the shadows look quite dark, so it doesn't look washed out. It's just looking really pretty. And here, especially, you can see how cool toned the grade is. The darks are very bluish, like the neck of his guitar also quite bluish, and here too you can see that. So love that. I personally also tend to grade with a little bit of blue in my shots. It's sort of, I don't know, I love the look of that. So here in this alley, I was thinking, okay, so they didn't really use artificial lighting here. I was thinking maybe with where he exited the druid's head, they had put an extra light there. And then they switched on the pink light and I was like, oh, again, like they're twisting things on its head. Like it's so dark. He's so poorly visible. We could barely see his facial expressions here, which is really great. And of course we have the foreshadowing of this guy coming in and he's talking about a street fight. So I wanted to pause it before we get into the actual street fight, because are we now also getting stunts then? That would be something. I'm very curious to see where this is going to go and how far they're taking this. And, Cujo Beatdown was already such a leap forward in that regard, as well as Slaughterhouse. They did some crazy stuff too. So they keep pushing their own envelope. And so I wonder if this is going to go just a step further again. And look at this. Like we can just barely make out his eyes. But as always, he's so expressive. It's just beautiful. And then the light switches on. And I love this moment because all of a sudden it's like, it feels very theatrical, which I've said before, but it does feel like theater. Here is Ren, and it's like a new character presents itself, right? It's very, here's this new character. He's now in the light and where he's it's like the narrator reveals himself almost, you know what I mean? And I suppose we're now going to watch this fight. Really loving this sort of turquoise color of the lights here, which really contrasts very nicely with the sort of pink, purpley, bluish color that we have from the light here. Very, very nice. So let's take a look and see what's going to happen next. I'm going to take it a little bit back and do that little reveal with the pink light again because I love that.
Let's fucking have it then, you prick! Now the rules of the street fight are simple. It's pretty much let's fucking have it.
Okay, let's for a second, let's look at this transition here because I love this transition where we switch. We whoosh around him sort of, and it goes almost all black here, and then we go around, and I don't necessarily see a cut, but it does work really well. I don't know. It could be they did it twice and there was a light behind him, and then they switched back and they removed the light, and they were able to almost seamlessly edit that to make it look like we're still in this one shot. And what a great moment. And it does the whoosh again, I believe. So the light switches off. And then there's no light in the alley. Now, it could be that they were able to hide a light somewhere behind a window here. They had a space that they could use, or even a little bit up, although the light didn't look like it was really coming from a higher angle. But I suspect there might be a little cut there. So I'm gonna take it a little bit back. We're just gonna watch that in real time again because I love that moment.
And you prick! Now the rules of the street fight are simple. It's pretty much anything goes. Keeping the street pretty firm on your feet. It pays to be sweet on your toes. And fools they have fallen for clumsy mistakes. Late to react, cop the fist to the face. Now the rules of the street fight are simple. Break that little prick's nose. Throw a punch, you swallow it, follow it, grab the collar, quick hollow tip like karate, kick martial art master, spark a bitch, park a fist on the landing, trick carnage, it finds the cartilage, karma serve like a carbonated cola on the crucifix, kill. Vincent wanna kill, who blood gets spilled, move double that rude boy, kill or be killed. Do it for the fun, blood, do it for the thrill. Blue lights, boy, run, blue lights, boy, chill.
Oh, yes.
So it goes in the absence of the light. The devil's soul, a seed in the mind. Vincent was shaken, run from the law, hide from the bacon, crouch on the floor. The cook to omit him, hate the wolf spits on him, rapes him, hits him, kicks him when he's down, and that shapes him. He hears the sound of a copper, hot up on his tail proper, Vincent off his rocker. Bothered by the lie the Britons sold him, what a shocker. Where greedy eat the poor, a holy war, the chosen prosper. But some were never chosen, they stay frozen in the locker. Destined to survive in 9 to 5 and watch the clock, but don't think about reality, my little happy shopper. A brand new show on Netflix to distract you from the horror, and swallow all your morals for a retweet or a follow, and shadow ban the problem man a sold for $1, and keep the fight amongst yourself, don't think about the squalor. The systems don't impose it or the rules that we all honour, and fuck it, Vincent cooked to boiling point, he's cannon fodder. So what's the use in running, he's already in the locker. He's careless with his actions now, a clumsy motherfucker. He turned to face his fate, cause fate's a bitch and none will stop her. Richard was an officer who stood at 6'3". Was his first day back at work after a time of absent leave. Working London on the night shift, what he didn't think he'd see was our boy with a guitar, bruised and battered on his knees. But Richard lived in caution now, tormented by his past. Not so quick to find a trigger, not so fast. But Richard was a righteous man who lived inside the law. So he leapt upon poor Vincent and he cuffed him to the floor.
Oh, I want to wait for that. Oh my gosh. I didn't think there was going to be more. That's amazing. Wow. Oh, I'm going to go back and then we'll watch the last part again because that was amazing. So the street fight played out very differently than what I was expecting. That was very, very, very fun. The hands appeared all of a sudden. Really cool. I thought it was a fun little twist. I was expecting like a full street fight. They didn't go that way. Well, they did go that way, but quite differently. We don't actually see the guy or the actual fighting that much. I'm curious how they must have filmed this because you have the camera operator who is holding the camera on Steadycam, it looks like, and then had someone else around it in front of, I'm not sure how they managed to do it. I would love to know if there's like any BTS for this one. I don't know if there are, or if anyone could tell me like what that must have looked like, these two people, you know, the camera and the person with the fists. Very fun. Unless they rigged the camera to that person, or I wouldn't know how to do, like how they would have done that though. Maybe people know. But that's really fun. And then we do see the blue light here, which may or may not have been the same light as they used for the pink purple light that we saw earlier. So there's definitely been a light that was used, and so that was fun to see. And then we have this beautiful shot here. This was so good. So it does look like this was either shot around Christmas, because I do see Christmas decorations here, or it was dressed for Christmas. But given how generally not very involved they are with like set dressing and such, I would say this was probably shot around Christmas, which is cool. So, and then this moves up and back down, and then there's another cut, which is a great transition. So we transition into this final part where we're again in an alleyway here. I also wanted to note that they're filming this with a Steadicam and what looks to me like a cinema camera. That's a pretty hefty setup. And this is a narrow alleyway. I think the lens that they must have used must have been quite a wide angle lens. So probably 24, maybe even 20 to get quite this much in frame while the camera person is so close up to the characters in the frame. So really beautiful. Again, really great use of practical lighting here in that, you know, you would find naturally in this alleyway. And also, you know, as he goes on and he sings a little bit, which to me sounded very Caribbean. Really great. I love this part in terms of the singing, which again, as I said before, as I don't usually comment on the singing or on the vocals, but I'm really enjoying his singing parts. And what he's saying is so true about, you know, today. It's like everyone's just focused on getting that retweet, on getting that like, on, you know, just numbing their minds watching stuff at night. And it's very powerful. Absolutely love this. So then the police officer is revealed, and Ren also starts talking about him. Really beautiful how the camera moves between the two of them. And as I said, it's like this is a small alley. It's like a lot of camera to move around here, quite so gracefully. So absolutely love this moment. And then it does feel like it's building up towards something. And he goes in to grab Ren's neck. And from that point on, I wanted to watch the ending, specifically because I didn't think there was going to be more. And I wonder if this is going to be foreshadowing for the next one, like they did for the last time, even though it's only like 15 seconds left or so. So let's take a watch. Oh, there wasn't more. Richard still. Oh, that's the cop. Oh, that's great. Okay, so they don't normally do credits. There was not more, so I got thrown off a little bit there. That's so funny. So we've seen all of it now, and I think this is great. He is again telling such an interesting story, and just incredible work. Our DP is Samuel Perry-Falvey, who they have such a well-established look for these videos now together. It's so enjoyable. Camera operator is Beau Pritchard-Jones, who I believe they've worked with before as well. So they definitely know what's going on as well. So I'm very, very excited to see the next one too. What a great throwback. It felt very Tale of Jenny and Screech. If you haven't watched my breakdown of those 3 videos, that you can also find them on the channel too. This was an absolute delight. I'm probably going to watch this a couple more times. I'm sure I missed things, but I love it when you guys point out what I missed, so let me know. And there's always a couple of people who know all about the BTS somehow. I never quite know where to find it. I think Ren posts on Patreon. I absolutely love this. I love it when you share more about what happens behind the scenes and elsewise. So definitely let me know. Wow, what an incredible video. And I'm so excited about Richard still as well. And I hope that I space this nicely so we don't have to wait too long for Richard Still to come out. I have no idea when it comes out. Last time they really built up to a specific date, and now it just says coming soon. So I don't know when it's gonna come out. Maybe one of you knows. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, this was another fantastic tale. I'm so enjoying these videos. Either way, come join us in the discussion in the comments. It's always a lot of fun. And of course, subscribe if you haven't yet to make sure you get notified when I put new videos out. Give this video a like so that we can reach more people. And lastly, check out my Patreon or buy me a cup of coffee through Ko-fi. Or join us on Discord, where we talk more about cool music videos, movies, and all sorts of nice stuff that, I think all of us probably have in common if we enjoy talking about cinematography and filmmaking like this. Either way, thanks so much for coming to watch this video with me, and I hope to see you for the next one. Peace.